What's up, everyone? How you doing today? Welcome in to the First Press YouTube channel. This is your meditation for Thursday, August 6th, 2020. Today, I am going to read a couple of verses out of Psalm chapter 33, verses 20 through 21. These have been on my mind the last few days since I read them, and I want to share them with you and what I've been thinking about, and that's what this is. That's what this is. Okay. Psalm 33, 20 through 22. We wait in hope for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name. May your unfailing love rest upon us, O Lord, even as we put our hope in you. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Okay, well, that translation's a little bit different than the one that I had read a few days ago. These words where it says, may your unfailing love rest upon us. Other translations will put that a little bit differently and use words like, may your love surround us, may your love be around, like it's this idea of being surrounded or engulfed by God's love, that God's love is surrounding us. So a few weeks ago when I preached a sermon here, and one of the things I mentioned was that I think a life of love and service, a life that models the life of Christ, in a lot of ways begins, it comes with the Spirit. The Spirit lives and dwells within us. And then it often starts with self-awareness, our own self-awareness of who we are, of what it means to be God's adopted sons and daughters, to have a place in God's family, heirs of God's kingdom. A life of love and service begins with that self-awareness. I think that this psalm brings some depth into that idea, self-awareness. And here's what I hear in this. I think it's pretty great that God welcomes us into his love, into God's love. To be surrounded by God's love, to be engulfed in it, to exist, for us to exist and to live and move in the world, knowing that we are doing so in an atmosphere of love. Is that making sense? Like our immediate atmosphere, I'm visualizing, is God's love, this divine force of love. This is where I'm living and moving and where I operate. It's in this atmosphere of love. And so anything that comes into my life, anything that I encounter, anyone that I encounter, any circumstance that I am in, anything that happens in this atmosphere of love. Is that making sense? It's not just happening to me and whatever. It's coming into, as it comes near me in my life, in whatever way that happens, it's coming into this atmosphere of God's love. Your unfailing and permanent love engulf us, O Lord, for you are our only hope. And so that's what I want to encourage you to think about today, and to remember and reflect on what it means to live and move when we are surrounded by, engulfed by, or living within an atmosphere of love. And everything that comes into our lives and affects us and happens, whether it's somebody cutting us off in traffic or whatever, that's happening in the context of this love atmosphere. What else do we call it? I don't want to call it a cloud or a haze, but it's coming into that energy, that sphere of God's divine love. And that's pretty cool. What it makes me think of in terms of mindfulness is, instead of reacting to things, and this might be familiar language to some of you, respond, not react. When things happen in our lives, if the Spirit can help us just for a minute, remember that we live in this cloud, this atmosphere of divine love. Instead of reacting to things that happen to us or are happening around us, we can, with this awareness of love, then respond in a way that reflects that we know that we are living in, surrounded, engulfed by God's love, who is our only hope. I hope that's encouraging news for you today. It's been on my mind, and I hope it speaks to you. You are surrounded, engulfed by God's love. It is all around you, and everything in your life today, in the days that come in and out, all of it is coming into that love. And remember that. And with God's help, let's love each other well this week. Love you guys. See you next time.